Hello everyone, it's me, Riffraff Hornhelm, and I'm back again with another presentation from the Dwarven Vault. And today we have a monster review. Once again, we're done with all our undead and related turnable creatures, and today we're going to talk about something different. It goes along with another review that we have here and an upcoming story. And that is the Giant Pike. Or as it's shown in the original monster manual, Pike, parentheses, giant. Don't know why it's got to be that way. They're so inconsistent on how they alphabetize the original monster manual that it's enough to make a sane person crazy. In any case, this is as used with the original basic Dungeons & Dragons as well as advanced Dungeons & Dragons, or what's called today 1E. So the Giant Pike. Now, these are pretty amazing creatures. As a wandering, you can run into 1 to 8 of them. Well, that's pretty good right there. They have an armor class of 5 and 4 hit dice. And size, 9 to 14 feet. That's a big pike. No two ways about it. They do 4 to 16 points of damage with their bite. Pretty impressive. Now, giant pike, beyond that, they're not intelligent. So, they'll chase shiny, pretty things, which is why humans love fishing for their smaller cousins. And, of course, a giant pike, well, not to put too fine a point on it, it's pretty obvious where the idea came from if you're familiar with Disney movies. Still, the giant pike is very useful to nixies. Nixies and giant pike have got this thing going where they're able to, and I say the nixie is able to use the giant pike many times as like a watchdog and to patrol around their dwellings and keep any bad guys from getting in. And giant pike are perfect for that. One of their other great attributes is that they surprise on a 1 to 4 on a 6-sided die. So being surprised by something that can do you 4 to 16 points of damage, that's pretty good. Now, they don't have any specific power in the book for swallowing their prey whole. But if anybody has worked with pike before in terms of fishing, you humans and whatnot, they will certainly swallow baits whole. That's up to your DM if you want to add that kind of thing in there. It would certainly be appropriate, but it was not part of the original game. So the giant pike is really a simple creature. Clean, efficient killer that spends most of its time looking for prey, assuming it's not being instructed by a nixie to do something. Once again, they'll tame them, like a dog. Pretty cool. So I went out to the greater Hornhelm community, and of course, giant pike, since they're tamed by nixies, they're going to also inhabit inland waters, deep lakes, someplace that's big enough to give them enough prey to eat. But certainly, if you were to run into one in a lake venue and you're any typical humanoid creature, it could go badly. It's one thing that people have to remember is that if you're encountering creatures in water, that humans don't necessarily move very well in water without magical assistance. If they don't have the ability to move well, it makes it very hard for them to effectively fight creatures who are in their natural environment. So in talking to the greater Hornhelm community, I asked them about the giant pike, and for the DMs that were out there, everybody had a chuckle and said, oh yeah, they're kind of fun, you got to throw them in every once in a while. They don't necessarily have to be in a lake. They could be in a deep, wide river or something of that nature. And they've always proved to be quite an unpleasant surprise for adventuring parties who've run into them unexpectedly. And they said that really, if you were dealing with these in their environment, they were very effective at what they did. They were able to cause a lot of damage and deaths within a party working in their natural environment where the party members were unable to effectively respond because they were restricted by the water. And the average I got from everybody out there was a very healthy 3.5. I have to say, from my standpoint, I think that's a little bit high. I probably would have gone a 3, but still a very respectable ranking for this creature. In talking to the players in the Hornhelm community, they came back with a little bit higher ranking. They looked at it as more like a 4. And that's because they are very tough to fight in their own environment unless you are able to move. Pike are very fast, aggressive. Um, Humans in water, I mean, try it in a swimming pool sometime. You're not very fast, you're not very aggressive, you're certainly not in the same class as something like a pike where this is its natural environment. All made sense to me. You need to make sure that you don't fall in the water. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, if you're in a big lake and you know these are in there, stay out of the water. If you can't help but be there, I don't know, curl up in a ball and cry. I don't know. There's not a really good solution. I mean, let's face it, you don't want to be in the water with these. So stay in a boat. Try not to end up in the water. If you do and you're attacked, well, do the best you can. They don't have any special defenses. Once again, they're an armor class 5, so that's not impossible to hit. But 4 hit dice, well, okay, it's going to take a little bit of damage to either kill them or damage them enough where they'll swim away. But remember that they're non-intelligent, so you probably can keep them away before the point of death as long as you cause them enough damage. So that, my friends, is the giant pike. We hope you found this informative, educational, entertaining, all that kind of good stuff. If you did, please be so kind as to leave us a like, drop us a comment, share with your friends, consider subscribing. But most of all, come back and see us again real soon. We thank you so very, very much for your kind support. Take care, everyone, and remember, dwarves rock!